So, oh, there we go. Okay, so I asked, I put this little call together last minute. I keep hearing about Natalie and how she's adding a lot of people and how she's getting her new people to go silver pretty quickly. And Amy's been sharing little things with me, what she's doing. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and Amy's like, you should just ask her to like jump on and share what she's doing. So I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and ask her. Natalie is on Amy's team, like I just said. I've met her a couple times. Her and I actually went to the same school, but we weren't there at the same time. So anyway, she's super sweet, super sweet. But I just wanted her to share with you guys what she's been doing. Natalie, are you there? I think you're frozen. Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I just noticed her screen hasn't moved. Let's see. There's Lindsay. Oh, she might have to jump back on. Oh, there she is. Can you hear me?
Yes, I don't know what happened. I think somehow I got disconnected from the meeting, so I apologize. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. All right. So anyway, I know now I'm trying to think of your story. You started Plexus like what, a year and a half ago? Like
it was
making the product?
It was a year ago. It was actually in March of last year.
Okay. And then you started the business in like September. You decided to run with it?
Yeah. Well, I signed my first ambassador in October, and I was kind of like, okay, hey, we'll start signing people up. So I never really went into it intending to do the business.
Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. So I'll just let you go ahead and share what you've been doing, share your testimony, share what you've been doing, and we are all ready to listen. So you go ahead.
Okay, sure. So originally, Amy and I went to college together at Trinity. So that's how I knew her. And I was seeing all of the annoying Plexus posts, and it was fine. I was like, well, good for her. She's going to try. That's great. I was, I guess, somewhat of a crunchy mama. I never even heard that term really until Plexus, so I don't really know. I got into things that I knew would help with my kids, so that was literally my goal. I nursed. I started reading about bread and things like that because my oldest daughter, I just didn't believe it. I mean, for me personally, I was like, it's not gluten. I'm not going to do that stuff. She has eczema. It was a little bit. It wasn't bad, So did a little bit of oils. I was, I still do some of those on them. But my oldest daughter got RSV as an infant at 9 months old, and it wasn't bad. I mean, she wasn't hospitalized or anything. However, every cold that she's had since then, she and my second daughter have had to have breathing treatments 3 weeks at a time, 4 weeks at a time. One time she had breathing treatments almost for 3 months straight in the winter. We've been to countless urgent cares in North Carolina, visiting my husband's family at Christmas time, and her cold went into pneumonia. I could tell from the breathing, they teach you to watch their throat depression and stuff like that with her. It's basically considered reactive airways, is what it's called. So it's not true asthma, but once they get to a certain age, they call it asthma. But it's not activity induced. So that being said, I ordered elderberry extract and all these different things to help build up her lungs. I was going to the health food store, a colloidal silver. I mean, I've tried it all. So I was researching a lot of things, and one of the things that I looked at was Plexus with the probiotics. I was already giving them kefir and even some kombucha. I don't know if it's necessarily for kids. I don't know. It has a slight alcohol content, but it's sold in public, so it's not like, I don't know. Anyway, we did. I thought we would try it. So, I knew probiotics would be very good, and I'd read so much about the tie-in between gut health and kids and allergies and breathing issues. So all of that being said, last March, I told my husband, I was teaching. I have a teaching degree. I was teaching at a school, a Christian private school. And I told him, it's like, hey, really think this would help the girls. He's like, okay, let's do it. He's kind of up for anything. We were already making our own bread and grinding wheat. He's up for it. He's like, let's do it. So we did. And we decided to go ahead and order. We were getting our tax return in. We decided to go ahead and order And I did not care anything about the slim. I was not in it for weight loss. My husband was like, well, I'll take the slim. He had a couple pounds he wanted to go. And I knew it would lower your blood sugar. I have hypoglycemia. So I was like, oh, I don't need that, thinking that it only lowered your sugar. I didn't do any research on slim, really. I wasn't interested in that. So we ordered the triplex. We were cheap. It was a cheaper price. So I was like, well, let's do it. So we were set up on our auto ship, and we actually ended up ordering extra. I wanted the X Factor, and the girls could swallow. So we just went with the bottle because it has aloe. And I was like, well, they're just going to have to swallow it. The chewables don't have the aloe in it. And that's how we got started on Plexus. It made such a huge difference really over the summer and different things. I was talking about my probiotic with my mom, and my mom didn't even take my product. I wasn't even selling it, but she was selling it to all kinds of people in our church. My dad's the pastor. So she starts telling, oh, you need to talk to Natalie about her probiotic. You can order it from her. So I actually had my brother-in-law needed it because he got this weird hiccup thing that he couldn't get rid of, and our probiotics took it away. And my mom was like, oh, it's amazing. And she still wasn't taking it. And anyway. So I had several people ordering just because my mom told them about it, and that kind of started some of it. My sister Nina has had thyroid kind of issues since she had children, so it was kind of back and forth that not enough to get medication because it would be high and then low. So she decided, she was really down one day, and I decided, I said, hey, why don't you try some of this Plexus Slim, stuff that I have. It's like, Glenn loves it. It gives him a lot of energy and everything. She's like, okay. So I just gave her some, and so like the third or fourth day she calls me. This is in the summertime, and she says, I think it's August. She's like, what in the world have you given me? This is crazy. I'm cleaning my pantry out, and it's 7:30 in the morning. And my sister does not get up at 7:30 in the morning, ever. She trained her kids to sleep until 10. Like, I was on the way to the gym, and I'm like, you're up? What are you doing? Call me. Somebody's sick, And she said, this stuff is amazing. And so she started losing weight. She felt so good. They really could not afford it. I wasn't really selling it at the time, so I was kind of like, well, I can get it at a discount, and they say that the triplex is better if you really want to lose weight. And she went off of it. Because she couldn't afford it. She got some from a lady. I don't know. Anyway, it was like, that's how I was not into the business. Okay. So a month later, her husband said, I don't care if I have to take a second job. You are getting Plexus. He said, you're a different person. I feel like I got my wife back, It was such a huge difference for her. At the same time, I had started taking the Slim because I had started researching it a little bit more because she was taking it. I want to make sure I wasn't giving her something that's going to kill her. And realized that the reason why I had such a bad headache with it originally when I took it with hypoglycemia is because initially it can make your blood sugar dip a little bit. So hypoglycemic people need to take it with breakfast in the morning. And I did not know that. So I started doing it that way and then just loved it. It got rid of headaches. I think that I was having dips in sugar that I didn't know about because I've lived with it since I was like, I don't even know, 6 or something like that. But I used to pass out in Walmart all the time on my mom for my sugar. So anyway, I got really, really attached to Slim, and I guess that started spiraling everything. I got people, a lady in my church losing weight, and then she said she needed some for, she said something, do you have anything for acid reflux? Because I'm on medicine and it's messing me up real bad. I said, sure. So I gave her some of the probiotics just to try, like 5 in a Ziploc baggie. And she's like, she signed up that night as an ambassador. She said she hadn't had tacos in like 10 years. She ate tacos because of our probiotics. So she was sold. I was like, okay, that was easy. And then I signed one more lady and went silver. And I was like, well, what in the world? So I guess I'm going to do business, And I think that's why I'm so passionate about getting people silver. Because I think even if you don't intend to sell, you can. So anyway, that's how I really started in the business part of Plexus. I do like to tell everybody we were taking the products before we made a dime, because I think it's important for them to know that 100% believe in them. I researched them. I love them. We would take them even if we weren't doing the business. So I think if you can get there, people can tell. So did you want me to talk about my team or?
Yeah. You go ahead and share what you've been doing, just whatever you wanted to share. I'm just interested to hear what you have to say. So that's awesome, though. I love it.
I didn't talk too long, so I didn't know.
No. It's pretty much, I have a couple things I'm going to say, but it's pretty much you, girl. Like, whatever you want to share.
Okay. And I know you guys, I don't want to take up all your Friday night, so I'll be quick.
Yeah.
So I went silver, and then, I have some of a natural drive, and after I went silver, I really didn't read my products, or I didn't read that kit that came in the mail. I didn't look at it. So, Amy threw me into all these team things, and I just literally hid them because I was like, man, these people are on here all the time, So after I went silver, I was kind of like, so where do I go from here? I just keep adding people, and how do I get to gold? And I caught the fever. I really did. I realized, okay, I got to have 100 points. How do I get 100 points? And then I realized, okay, they have to have, 100 packs their welcome pack. So I'm strategizing and, trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to do? I started meeting right away with the people who signed under me, and I was training them literally the stuff I learned the day before. I should add, Amy added me into that 6-week tough love group, and she gave me a partner, and I literally did the assignment so that the partner wouldn't get upset because we were losing points because of me. That's so I ordered business cards because of that. I literally was not into the business part. So all that kind of happened around the same time as my sister. That being said, once I went silver, I was like, hey, we are doing this. I told my husband, I was like, I really think this could go somewhere. He's like, okay, let's do it. So started just kind of from that point on, they're like, you need to post every day. So I posted every day. I learned a lot in the 6-week tough love. And the team just kept growing. I kept meeting with them in person. Most of them were local. I was meeting with them in person and just one-on-one training them. Before I had children and actually started using my degree in teaching, I stayed, we had both worked at Citibank in Jacksonville in retention sales. And it's called retention sales because retention is sales. You have to sell them on staying or on a new product to keep them there. So we had to go through 8 weeks of training. And I think I've used a lot of that in the business. So recently, I was on a Hawaii Hustlers call, and I don't even know the lady's name, but she was a blonde-haired lady. Laura might know who that is. She was talking about doing all those getaways, the retreats. Do you remember? I don't remember. Anyway, she, do you know her name? I don't even know who.
Oops, sorry. Was it Julie Felple?
I don't even know. I just remember hearing, I was listening and I was just like, she said she puts the expectation out there to every single new person, regardless of if they want to sell or not, that you need to be silver in the first 7 days. And I was like, are you serious? And somebody even asked, because I was like, oh, thank God they asked that, because they were like, well, how do you tell them that? Because, she said, I set the expectation with my team because you want them to see what the business can do for them, and they need to do that quickly in their first month. So I was a little gun shy about that, but I was like, okay, this works in the classroom. As a teacher, you set your expectations day one. They teach you for the first whole week, and then on Monday of every week for the first month, that you go over the classroom rules and your expectations, and the kids just do it, and they really do. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm going to try this with my team. All the ones that were not silver yet, I told them they needed to be silver before the end of the month. That, they needed it for their business, for their credibility with their friends and family. It would boost that. It would give them their bonus. It would just really promote their business. All my new people that came in the door from that point forward, I don't even care whose downline they were. I contacted them. I let them know. I was so glad that they were there. I didn't ask them if they were interested in the business or not. I was just like, you need to go silver in your first month. Even if you don't want to do the business or sell it, that's fine. This will help you pay for your products. And just think about this. How many of your friends and family, are you going to help to feel so amazing like you do? So I will help you. If you want to come up with 3 names or whatever, just contact me back. I'll be praying over them with you. I'll get on calls with them with you. I will meet with them with you if you want to. But honestly, most people have people in their life that will support them. So you can just ask them, hey, will you support me in this and do this with me? Or also you can just ask friends and family, say, I'm starting this new thing. Will you please help me? Will you join me? And we had, I want to say 9 silver I don't know. I got to go back and add it up, but they all did it. Like the new people. And I was kind of like, okay. They literally started right away. I had this girl who told me, she's like, I'm not really going to do the business. I don't have time for it. We're in the military. We're fixing to move. I was like, okay, I understand. I met with her and a potential at Longhorn, and we're talking, and I'm going over just, the products, how to take them, that kind of thing. We signed up her potential that night, and I told them both, I was like, you have a wide open market at the military because they will take it on the boat with them. There's not fresh things on the boat once they run out. So I was like, listen, you have no idea. I had one guy sell $900 in one day at the base. So I wanted her to know you need to catch the fever. The other, and then the other one that we were sitting there, my new ambassador that had already signed, who did not want to do the business, I told her, okay, that's fine. We still need to get you to silver because it will help pay for your products. I want you to know that it's affordable to reach your weight loss goals. And if it's free, it's affordable. So I was like, what can we do? Who do you have? I will help you. It's not as hard as you think. And she signed 2 within 2 days. And then the third one signed when we, about 4 days later when we did that sell, the flash sale. So I really think it's just telling them. We have started, I have taught all of my, my runners on the team, my number 1 downlines that have, already started working the business. They're already silver. I'm like, obviously you go silver every month yourself. Mm-hmm. And every single person you sign, you put the expectation that we need to get you silver right away. Because if they make money, they stay, which is true. People have been telling me that all along, which it really is true. Mm-hmm. And I think we have I know the people that I've personally signed, I think we have 3 white lines, which is really cool. The other thing that I've noticed is people need to see results. Not everybody, especially, okay. And I hope you take this part right. People that already have issues and they're going into it for weight loss goals typically already have consistency issues of some sort, unless it was a medical reason, right? Okay, I'm not saying that they all do. I'm just saying typically. So I'm like the water police, and they hear from me. I don't care if they're my ambassador. I have messaged my ambassadors that have been with me from the beginning, at least once a month. How are you doing on your products? Do we need to tweak anything? Are you seeing the results you want to see? If not, why? We need to, every single customer I have, every single ambassador I have, I stay in touch with them to make sure, because the thing is, if they're not seeing it and they're not believing it, when they talk to people and potentials, it's going to come out in their voice. Mm-hmm. It's going to come out in the way they present the business. It's going to come out in the way they present Plexus. People know that I believe in our products because it comes out, I think. I 100% believe in them. I'm like, no, you cannot shake my belief on that. And I think it was the couple, what's their name? The husband-wife team, they're kind of funny.
Yancey?
The ones that are really crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it's the McCalls?
McCalls, yeah.
Yeah.
He was they were on the first Hawaii Hustlers call, and I wrote down their notes, and I've been using that for my 3-way meetings with my ambassadors ever since. And it was, you have to have the belief in the product. If you don't, it's not going to work. It's, you can try to fake it all day long if you're not taking them. And it's not that, and I tell these people too, it's not that you have to, have lost 50 pounds or be at your goal or, healed yourself of some disease. You don't, because I was afraid of that. Honestly, what held me back at first was that I was like, nobody's going to believe it. They already know I'm into all this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, that's just Natalie. She's crazy. But I didn't lose a ton of weight. I tried Accelerator and lost 6 pounds in a week. I do tell people that because that was crazy. I was just trying it out to see how it worked. But there's so much more than that. And, I don't have some kind of crazy, health testimony. I mean, we started getting into all natural things and trying to heal our bodies and stuff. I did have to have a tumor that had to be removed surgically, that the surgeon back in January before we signed in March said you have to get off of white sugar completely. The type of tumor you had, it's the precursor to intraductal carcinoma. So, and it's 80% caused by white refined sugar and 20% caused by stress. I had both. Wow. So that was one of the things why we were looking into, Plexus also. So I tell people that, but I mean, I don't have this huge, look what happened to me transformation story. And it doesn't matter because people can tell that I know that I believe in the products. I have had amazing results on my team. My own father had prostate cancer several years ago. So it was very, very cautious. I wanted him to go to his doctor. And I'm like, I don't want to mess my dad up. So I'm like, take it to your doctor. And he did. He did his 3-month blood work and his triglycerides are 1/3 of what they were 3 months ago. That's amazing. His doctor was amazed. Besides the fact that he's lost 27 pounds. And, my sister just found out yesterday, she's going to do a post on it, but this is awesome to me. I about cried. She has had fatty liver disease since her daughter was born 10 years ago. And last year in March, it was so bad that they had her go do an ultrasound because her liver enzymes were that elevated. And she had to go get it checked. And this is the first time in 10 years that it's gone. She does not have fatty liver disease anymore. You don't typically get rid of that. Wow. Not only that, they did a CT scan and her liver is completely normal. And she was like, I mean, we were just both so ecstatic. And she was like, it's Plexus. I know it. And I'm like, I know it is. So, the belief, I can't say enough about that, but I will tell you, if you want that for your downlines too, I feel like as a leader, part of getting them to grow is, even as ambassadors, and even though they might have already signed, a couple of people under them, staying on top of them and saying, you're not bothering people, but just like, hey, how's it going? I'm glad you love Plexus and you're doing the business. But how are you doing on your products? And so I check up on everyone. I kind of have a little rotation. I do the ambassadors maybe once every 2 months or something like that. But I mean, my customers, I'm checking in. If they're not getting results, we need to fix something. We need to take, let's figure out how you're taking your bio cleanser, you're drinking your water. And then I'm the water police for a little while. And I'm sending them this little smiley face, don't hate me, but are you drinking your water? I just want the best for you. I want you to get your money's worth out of this product. So the silver expectation has been huge. My team has exploded recently. And I really believe a lot of that has been, I don't ask, I plug them into training time. Plug them into team meetings, plug them into right away. I ask for names. Let's get you silver. I mean, even if it's just to help you pay for your products. So far, everybody that's gone silver is like, okay, so I've got 3 more. I'm working on this person. I'm working on that person. And, there hasn't been one person yet that has signed since I started that has stopped after 3. So wow. They're working on more literally while they're signing their 3rd person. I think they kind of get that, this isn't hard, it's just helping my friends and family. So a lot of it, I think, is just people seeing your passion about the business, seeing your belief in the products. It's huge. I try to tell my team too, I've been telling, there's no place for negativity. I mean, and if there is any, if you do have issues, they always go up. They never go down. So you got an issue, call me. Do not talk to the people under you, and there hasn't been a whole lot of that. I mean, most of the time I have had people come to me and say, I'm not seeing the results I want and that kind of thing. And so we tweak through it and we figure out what they need to do to get their results. And so, I think it's just huge plugging into any kind of team meetings you can, any kind of groups. The Tough Love is amazing, I think. To get started. We're doing right now on our team, we're doing Silver and 7 at the very beginning of March. We're doing 2 online opportunities a month that they can invite any potentials to. Nobody has to talk. They just get to view the post. We have had a lot of really good feedback from that. And messaging. They message. I tell them. I mean, I know they say 5-3-1, but I'm like 10 a day. I just tell them 10 a day. So they're like, okay. I mean, they believe me. I guess I'll just start doing it. I don't know. Some of them might not, but and they start working with people and they realize, hey, I can sign people up. This is working. So as a team, that's what we're doing right now. And I do hold contests and stuff like that, But I think the Silver and 7 has been huge just to get newbies kind of aware of how to post and what we're talking about, and that kind of it gives them a challenge each day. It makes them watch the videos. Oh, another thing, I personally listen to a diamond documentary every day. I think that in the world we live in, the society we live in, it's easy to kind of get negative or down. We have lives that pull at us. You have things going on in your family and with your friends or whatever, and it's easy to kind of lose your focus on your goal. And so for me to stay focused, I realized like every single morning after while I was doing breakfast dishes, I put my iPad on my little cookbook holder and I turn on a diamond documentary every day. And that has been so big for me. I start the day off motivated because I'm like, I'm going diamond. And some of those people, if you watch those diamond documentaries, you're like, if they can do this, I can do this. You know what I mean? Not in a bad way, I'm just saying. I watch one of those every day. And then also some kind of educational video about plexus, whether it's on a product or, like one of the nutritionists talking about, different things, just something every day to be learning on how to do something new. I was watching a lady today. I was like, wow, that's, an interesting way to do something. So I was like, I might try that. And then I started my leaders chat. Amy said to do that before. And I'm giving them challenges individually now, that kind of thing to help kind of build the infrastructure. So I don't know, it's working. I'm doing anything they tell me to do. So did anybody have any questions about that?
That is awesome. Yeah, does anybody have any questions to ask Natalie? Just feel free to unmute and ask, or you can type it down in the chat, but we can just unmute and chat. Anybody have a question? I'll ask one real quick. Are you, so when you get somebody new and you're like, okay, let's get you to silver in 7 days, what do you typically go over when they are new? Like, do you go over, okay, this is what you need to do every day. This is, let's get your few people, like you had mentioned, like who are the top people. Do you do like what Amy does, like what I've been taught to do, or do you have something a little different you do, or?
It kind of depends. I mean, I always mention that they need to go silver.
Yeah.
If they're not interested in the business, I throw everybody into training time.
Yeah.
If they do it, they do. If they don't, they don't. So I figure we can't hurt, right? Yeah. So, and add them to the team pages. I send them an individual message about going silver, and I'm going to work with you on like that girl that I just signed that was not interested in doing the business. She messaged me the next day and was like, okay, I found one. And she's going to sign up. She's saying this, what do I say? And we literally FaceTimed for like an hour and kind of went over we role played on how to say it to people. And I said, assuming the sale, because a lot of that, like I said, mentioned was from Citibank, like I think retention, because I don't ask people. I'm just like, I'm going to send you my, link and my steps real quickly and let me know when you're done. And, that's so awesome. I'll send you the video on how to take the products. And, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you to get them in. Like, I never ask. I just assume they're going to do it. Yeah. But some people are not quite comfortable doing that right away. I think they're kind of like, what? You never ask them to join? And I'm like, no. I mean, of course they want to join. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I do. I mean, if they're really interested in the business part of it, though, I do set them up right away in training time and tell them, it says 2 weeks, but you can do it sooner, And while they're waiting on their products, they train. So.
Right. That's good. Good. All right. Who has a question? Anybody? I hear somebody.
Hey, this is Laura. I just was wondering, have you done the 6-week challenge with your team?
No, actually, Shannon is my power partner, and we were talking about it the other day because we were afraid we're going to overwhelm them if we do the silver and 7 and that at the same time. So we're actually going to be running our very first 6-week tough love by ourselves without Amy, because she said we had to. Honestly, I would have kept her because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But with the 6-week tough love, she said you post the post. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. So we're gonna do our first one after Silver and 7 ends, which is we started on Thursday, yesterday. So in 7 days, we're starting our first one.
Oh, that sounds great. Okay, thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay. The Silver and 7, do you, are you getting that from Jana? Like the post
Yes.
that she did it? Okay. So you're going in there and you're copying what she did and then, okay. And you created your own group, right?
Yes, we created, I presented it to my team on the team page, gave them the option, and I told them that they had to want it, and if they messaged me, I would add them. If not, then, they wouldn't be added. So I had a lot of people respond, and I wanted, kind of like the secretive thing, like if you want the help, you can have it. I don't know. I guess people just decided like, don't leave me out. So they said they wanted it. We did a separate page, and then Jana had said it was fine for us to copy and paste the posts. So that's what we've done so far. Shannon has her own page, and I have my own page. We keep the teams separate. We're both on each other's teams, but it's just to encourage us more than anything,
Right.
My team doesn't know her, and vice versa, but just there to encourage each other, which is awesome. It's fun.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, but we did the Silver and 7 in a separate group completely, and so far they were taking it and running with it. I've had a couple of them feedback on the group page today that they have 3 or 4 people interested already, and they're just amazed and excited, so that's good.
Well, good. Now you went, did you go gold in December or January? When did you go?
It was in January.
And you're pretty close to senior gold already, right?
Yeah, I have enough.
Yeah, because last month you added how many people last month?
We added 28.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
And our goal is 50 this month. So
good.
I'm excited. I'm hoping that it's there. We have enough to go senior gold as long and a little bit of a cushion on top of it,
which is good.
So that's why we kind of over planned for how many we needed to add.
Right.
And so we're asking everybody on the team to add one. If everybody on the team added one, we will be more than more than Ruby, because we're working on our next goal now.
Right.
For to go Ruby in April.
Right.
Because they have to. Most of them have to be there for a month because they're not going to put unless they get a customer. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So we're just trying to map out and plan ahead and get a number, and that's another thing. I sat down with everybody, whether they asked for it or not, and I just wrote down a plan for them, the people that were on their downline and how many points they had. I only did it for people that were like really, I think 35 points and above at the end of the month to go gold. So I wrote out here's your people, here's how many they have to sign, people I know they're already working on. And basically I wanted to give them a realistic picture of this is doable for you. Here's what you need. And they just immediately, they took it and ran with it. They were like, oh wow, that's it. Okay. I can do that, and
that's cool.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is just, recently for me, that's still, just the thing, putting out you need to be silver. Okay. People just do it. I don't know. It's the expectation that's there, setting it down and saying, and I'll help you. I have gone, it's actually kind of fun because my husband's like, yeah, your Plexus stuff is kind of cool because you're going out I'm meeting these people at restaurants because some of them I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm meeting all these people at these restaurants, and they're bringing people. I'm there to go over compensation plans, stuff like that, one-on-one. But I've started kind of doing it with them in person because I feel like they kind of catch that drive a little bit more. And then we started doing. I started telling them, if you have anybody that wants to remotely hear about Plexus, bring them with you. And so usually they bring somebody, and they've signed people, and most of them that night will go home and sign up. So
that's awesome.
It's helping them go, to their next goal. So
wow.
I think a lot of it is just those 3-way meetings they said to have. I'm kind of doing that, but it's been more in person or FaceTime.
Which is good.
Done so much on the phone, I guess.
Yeah. Which is good. That way they hear your passion and see you. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Anybody else have any other questions?
I had a question.
Go ahead, Emily.
Hey, I had a question. Okay, so where did you feel like you added the most people? Maybe like through Zoom calls or just messaging every day, or people that you knew? How did you get groups of people to join your team so you could start building it? So where did you get your first like big group of people? Zoom calls?
No, I haven't really done Zoom calls very much. So, I mean, I love them, but I'd never done a Zoom call before I joined Plexus, honestly, so I didn't even know what it was.
We didn't.
But, yeah, I was like, okay, this is new. Honestly, I started off doing exactly what they said, the 531. I followed up with people. I started posting every single day on Facebook, and then I would have somebody, it was almost probably about like 2 a week that would start messaging, well, what is this? And then at that point, I didn't go into everything about in pricing. I'm like, I'm not going over pricing with everybody. It's not expensive. I like this, they said, overcome the objection before it comes up.
Right.
I don't talk about prices with people. Most of the time, they don't even know what the prices are when they go on my website to sign up. Mm-hmm. They find out when they get there, because I'm kind of like, it's cheaper, you're going to get commission, you're going to get your money back. I actually have a problem getting preferred customers and retail customers. Most of them sign up as ambassadors. I'm like, it's just cheaper, I'm cheap, just do it this way. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Mainly through messaging people and Facebook posts. I had a lady join on our online event last Thursday night. I would have never guessed she would have joined. It's actually a lady that there's a long story there. Anyway, I just never thought she would join me ever, anything. And it wasn't because of me. It was just a situation that a long, long time ago that had to do with not me. Anyway, she never responded to a single thing. I even hesitated to send her a message, honestly. But I did send her my first initial message. And never heard back. She never liked a single post. Said that she would maybe join the meeting and sign. She said, okay, I'm ready to sign up. And I'm like, serious? Like, floored me. I was like, you were the last. I mean, I didn't tell her that, but I was like, you're the last person I ever thought would join my team. But you did.
I love it.
So I don't know. I think a lot of it is just being proactive. If there is one thing, this is what McCall said, if there is one thing holding you back in your own mind, whether it's you think that it is kind of pricey or it is, I don't know. You need to overcome that before you start talking to any more people. And so I tell my people, if you think it's expensive, I got a little homework for you. You need to go into a health food store. I'm dead serious. You need to go into a health food store. You need to go into Costco. You need to look at the prices of a good multivitamin that you're not going to pee out. You need to go and look at, a good size bottle of honey. You need to go look, raw honey that's not filtered. You need to go in and look at some of the products, like the 5-HTTP, whatever it is, that's in Accelerator. You need to go look at that. I took a picture of it at Costco. One ingredient in our ingredients. And you need to do some research. My father-in-law was like, no, they're older. You could never, are they going to do Plexus? They were just like, don't even talk to us about it. Oh, here she comes. And he's diabetic. But you know what got him? He had salmonella. And he was on a probiotic. He's going to be on one for a full solid year at the least because it tore his intestines to pieces. And he had it out at Christmas. And I was like, oh, is that what they put you on? He was like, yeah. I mean, and I was seriously just asking. He said, yeah, this is like in live or something. It was a prescription strength one. And I said, well, that's an expensive probiotic. And he was like, because I saw the price of the prescription on there. And they were like, well, you have a probiotic too. Plexus is crazy expensive. I was like, mine's cheaper than yours. And I mean, of course, with the ambassador price. And I was like, but mine's cheaper than yours. And it's better. And then they were like, what? So they actually wanted to know how much my probiotic was. Then they took the bottle. Then they took it to their doctor. The doctor said it was better, which was like, woohoo. And he ordered our probiotic. Like, I was like, all right, foot in the door. Our products are very, very well priced, very comparable. So if anybody has, I tell people, if you come back to me and you keep telling me people are not signing up because of the price, it's because you believe that they're too expensive yourself. Mm-hmm. Because if you didn't, then you wouldn't have that objection because you would overcome it before it was ever stated. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not going to be an issue because they're not that expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. I like that. Very good. All right. Good. Does anybody else have any other questions? It's all been really good. Really good, Natalie.
I hope it helped to somebody. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I told Amy, I was like, I'm just doing everything you tell me to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, anything and everything that helps, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Now, does anybody have any other questions though? I don't want to, miss anybody. Let's see if there's anything in the chat. Don't cheapen your health. That's right.
Yeah, because if you knew how much I spent on my kids, oh my gosh, we haven't been to the doctor. We have not been to the doctor. They had to go get their shot records in September.
Wow.
That's it. Since last March. That is, you have no idea how much money I've saved. I'm like, no, Plexus is not expensive.
No, it's not. It's not. And
Not
it's
at
crazy.
all.
Yeah, it's not at all. It costs a lot of money to be unhealthy. That's for sure.
It does.
All the doctor's bills and prescriptions, all that mess. Wow. Well, I love it. I love everything you say. I love how you're just like, you got to be silver in 7 days. like you just got to do it.
I know. I kind of felt bad about it at first because I was kind of like, gosh, do they really do that? And are these people going to really they're going to get like, yeah, right. And nobody said that to me. They were just like, okay. And they might have been saying it in their head, but they didn't say it to me. So I was kind of like, okay. Yeah. And then they all just started turning silver. And I'm like, what in the world? This is awesome. So I told all my downlines, I'm like, hey, the first thing you tell them is, let's get your products paid for. You need to be silver. Let's go. And whether they want the business or not, you're going silver. So yeah,
it helps definitely.
I had one lady tell me, I don't even have my products yet. So, I'm waiting to see. I said, oh, no, that's fine. Listen, you need them paid for before they get here. Right? So get your family and friends to join you, right along with you right now. And they can actually get their products right in behind you and get started at the same time. You guys can do this together. And so the one girl still hasn't got her, this is a long story. She still hasn't got her welcome pack yet. And she signed 2 people. So, I was like, oh, listen, go off on my belief. It's okay. You don't, they're going to love it. You're going to love it, so.
Right. Exactly. Hey, go ahead.
I just had a question about that. Like, how do we, within compliance, like on a Zoom call or anything like that, how do we tell people about that with how you're going to save money? When you guys mentioned the prescriptions and stuff like that, not having to go to the doctor, like, are we allowed to say that still
anymore? I don't know, like with the whole compliance thing. Natalie, have you heard like a whole bunch about that? Because I know they've changed so much.
No, I need to watch that. I still haven't watched that video yet. That's terrible, but I think as long as you're telling them it's my personal story, and I will say this, because I am terrified of messing somebody up, I really am. Mm-hmm. I have told every single person, take it to your doctor. Yes. If you are remotely concerned, it says it on the box or the bag or whatever, to take it to your doctor. So I feel like everybody that's ordered knows that, and most of them are like, oh, I don't care, I'm just going to try it, so.
Yeah. He said something like, it was a lawyer, and he was talking about different companies that have went down and lost a lot of money because of, even though we're saying it just happened with us, he was like, I don't know. He said there's going to be trainings every couple weeks released about it because so many people were still saying things they weren't supposed to, even on their personal testimony. And I was like, what? So,
I know.
I've even mentioned it's not compliant because people have asked me about putting their kids on it. And I'm like, it's not compliant for me to tell you to put your kids on our products. They are not tested on children.
Right.
But I took it to my pediatrician, and I went by what my pediatrician told me. And I know that it's been very beneficial to my children, but it is not compliant for me to tell you to put your children on it, and you can take it to your pediatrician. So, I mentioned that it's not compliant for me to say that they can give it to their kids because it's not,
Right.
And I did take it to my pediatrician.
Yeah. Because just like saying, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to claim that I know what's good for you, but here's what it's doing for me. But I do know there's a lot of different compliance things that are coming out now. So I'm trying to think of how to reword certain things too. But you do always want to put that disclaimer because, you got to cover your back. But
yeah, so I haven't watched the video, so disclaimer for any of you who've been here tonight. Don't put your kids on it unless you go to the pediatrician or.
Yeah.
Laura, I really need to go watch that, honestly. I have been so busy. I really need to go make sure it's okay. So, no, I don't know, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I'm not sure either, Laura, because I'm still kind of confused about all the changes. Like, what can we say? What can we not say? But I get it all. I mean, I get how we have to be careful, but at the same time, I'm like, you have to share my story.
They said that the new ambassadors, and I don't know when that starts, are going to have to get like a certification or something. So it's kind of like not sure how to talk to new people about that because I have some potentials and I want to make sure they know ahead of time. I don't know what they're going to be trained to do.
Yeah, I
guess we'll probably find out really soon.
I was going to say, Amber and Jana went to that training. We'll have to ask them what they found out.
I kind of figure, I mean, whenever that comes down the pike, I'll make them all do it. But
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Aww.
I don't know. I mean, right. I really don't. I need to go watch it. I feel like, with every person that, if you genuinely care about, I mean, obviously the people you're talking to, you don't want them to get sick or ill or anything. My grandfather, he begged me and I was like, honestly, I was really scared. He has major heart issues. And I was like, Papa, you cannot take this until you go to the doctor with it. Like, take the package, take the printout I'm giving you. I'm going to highlight it. Like, he's had like 7 stents in a row in his heart, I mean, like several open heart surgeries. He's diabetic. And I'm like, you have to go to the doctor with this. And he did. And they okayed it. So I feel like at that point that, if he's begging me for it and he took it to the doctor, I mean, I'm not gonna be like, no, don't order. I mean, we have to have customers,
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's my grandfather. I mean, I feel like, if you have people's best interests at heart, you need to let them know.
Yeah.
You need to check this stuff out with your doctor and make sure you're okay. And
I think a lot of it, right. And I think a lot of the compliance things, a lot of it has to do with social media, just being careful how you say it, like at events and different things. But I think it's more geared towards that than just talking to somebody in person, and your family. And so anyway, well, I really, really appreciate you being on here. Like, I've been wanting to hear what you had to say, and I knew there was something, I knew you were doing something. So, like, it's working for her. What is she doing different? So I love how
you just promoted. So that's so exciting.
Oh yeah, I did. And we're doing great. So Senior Ruby's right. It should be this month, if not for sure next month. So it's, the team's doing awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. But I wanted to hear, I'm like, okay, I hear she's getting a lot of people really quick and people are going silver quick. So what is she saying, So I'm really, really thankful that you were able to be on here. I think.
Well, thank you for having me. I hope it helped somebody. I don't know. I'm just telling them they have to do it.
Hey, Amber.
Uh-huh.
I have a quick question, actually, while I've got a lot of mamas on here.
Go ahead.
I had a question today from a girl that I had just kind of in passing brought up Plexus too.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a brand new mama and she's just so exhausted. I said, oh girl, I know all about that. And then I kind of, sort of started hinting around to it, but I didn't ever mention Plexus at all. And she comes back to me and she says, I've heard a lot about this Plexus stuff. And, then she started rattling off, and I really, being a new mama, it's like, well, I know I've heard that, it's okay for kids, various ages. And I've asked, Samantha about it a little bit, and I'm just not real sure. I mean, what's everyone's general opinion on that? I mean, brand new, 1-month-old babies, or, the mothers breastfeeding with that in their system. I mean, she's just concerned about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I will say that I have, all 4 of my kids take it, and they have for almost 2 years. And then I have several friends, including Laura on here, who took it when they were pregnant, and they take it while they're nursing, and they do great, and their doctors all approved it. And they're doing awesome. But, like Natalie said, take it to your doctor, show your doctor. We're not pediatricians, we're not nurses or anything. But it's not compliant for us to say, to take it, but many, many people do, and they're doing awesome with it. And our kids too. So like Natalie, her whole story with her children, And Laura, you're nursing, right? You still nursing and taking it?
Yep, he only nurses. He will not take a bottle, so he is Plexus.
I just want to squeeze him. So cute.
I had one like that too. I didn't even know that Plexus could help like with milk supply or anything like that. I actually had a friend that was already ordering our probiotic, and then she calls me one night. I had nursed my kid, so we, before Plexus, she had tried like, mother's milk thistle tea and brewer's yeast, and we were trying all this stuff that could help your milk supply. She calls me frantic one night and was like, my milk supply is gone. It like literally went away like almost overnight. And so the baby's screaming, and she's like, I've heard that your Plexus stuff can help. And I was like, oh, okay. Cause I didn't even know. I felt bad because I'm like, I didn't know it could do that either. Okay. So she's like, can I order it? And honestly, they were on one income and everything. So I was like, look, let me just bring you a couple. I mean, this is up to you. I don't even know anything about this. If you think it'll help your milk supply and you want to try it, I will bring you some, and then you can decide if you want to order, check with your OB doctor or whatever, And so she's like, I want to try it. I want you to sit. Yes, please. Thank you, God. And like the next day she called me crying. Literally, she was like leaking in her shirt, and the baby slept 9 hours through the night for the first time in his life. And she was like, I'm done. I'm sold. I'm signing up. And I was like, and still at that point, I was kind of like, that's awesome. That's amazing. And then I was thinking, okay, are you going to go check with the OB doctor or the pediatrician or something? She's like, no, I don't care. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know. I don't even know anything about breastfeeding and Plexus. I signed her up for that group. There's a Plexus breastfeeding group, and I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that she went to the doctor with it, but I was honest with her, and it did really help. So I don't know.
Wow.
I leave it up to everybody. I tell them, you need to go to your doctor. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't.
It's up to them, right? As long as you said it, but it's up to them. Yeah. Does that help you, Julie?
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it did. I mean, she was just rattling off a few questions to me, and I was getting kind of nervous because I'm like, well, I'm not a doctor. I'm like, play one on TV, ha ha ha. But I'm, not a doctor or anything. And I can just tell you what I know, what I've heard, testimonies of others. I could tell you all day long. I've been reading about it a lot lately, and that's about all I got, And I'm probably about you say, like you say, Natalie, take it to your doctor, pediatrician, run it by them. I'm sure it'll be okay. I've even heard people talking. Don't write down the ingredients. Don't take the bag in, because if the second you present the bag, they're like, oh Lord, no, don't do that. Even reading the ingredients, it's like they're already shunning it. But anyway, that answered it.
I like to say like to take it to their pharmacist, because the pharmacist just looks at the ingredients and they usually know a little bit more about them too. So but you just say, look, this is how it's helping my friend's friend, so and so, Laura's doing great. You can use other people's testimonies.
Julie, if you want, I don't mind at all. If you want, her to ask me or message me, I'm totally fine with sharing what we do. So
okay, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So any other questions, guys, for Natalie, or any other questions? All right. Okay. Well, I have a couple things to share, but I think Natalie pretty much nailed all of it, so which is awesome. So let me see here. All right, hang on one second. I think we lost Natalie. Hang on.
Yeah, I think she just left. I don't know if her screen froze again, but
I think it just, okay. All right. Well, I'll thank her later. But just real quick, do you guys all, well, I wanted her to share, because I know we've been really talking about, okay, let's add 3. Let's get our new people to silver. Let's add 3. We can all add 3. And I have that contest going on. I know Amy has a contest going on. So I thought, perfect to have Natalie share what she's doing, and I just love hearing that. But do you guys, I want to ask you another question. Do you guys know when, have you heard Amy or myself, maybe you've been on one of the calls where we've talked about having your business testimony and your product testimony, and how Leslie Zan explained to do that? Were you guys on there have you heard any of us say that before? Okay. All right, let me do this. Emily, you want to be my guinea pig? She's like, oh man, why did I stay on this call?
Sure, I'll be your guinea pig.
Okay, so basically what she says, I just want to role play this, okay? Because it's really sunk in for me when she said it this way. I'm like, okay, that's a really great way to share your business testimony. And you could do the same thing with your product testimony. So like when you're talking to somebody and they're asking you about the business, okay? And you just really quick in a minute share your testimony. So a couple questions she said, and I'll just ask you this, okay? And I'll try to remember what you said. All right, so what do? You're a teacher, right?
I'm a second grade teacher.
A second grade teacher, okay. And how long have you been doing it?
This is my second year teaching.
Okay, second year teaching, awesome. And what do you like about it?
I like the kids. I like that it's a Christian environment, so I can talk freely about Jesus, and I get to see their passion every day. I'm so glad that you asked this. Okay, so let me tell you, I've been teaching them the Bible story about Jesus, and they love Jesus by the end of all the lessons. And then today I taught the resurrection story, and so they're sad because Jesus died. And then I get to tell them that Jesus comes, back to life in 3 days, and that kind of makes my job awesome. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so that's what do you like about it? What do you not love about it?
Oh gosh. What don't I like about it?
Parent-teacher conferences.
Oh, yes.
It's Natalie. Hey, Natalie.
I don't know what happened.
Probably like the discipline area of it. I mean, I have a rough class this year. Last year, my class was perfect. So probably the waves of the challenging children would be my least favorite
Okay.
thing.
So the challenge. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how is the Plexus business going to help you with what you do?
Well, it's already helped me a lot. I can keep up with my kids all day. I'm not kidding. Right now I just started tutoring after school. It just third quarter gets a lot of kids need tutoring. And so I offered to help. And usually at 3:00, I'm just like dead. I don't even want to deal with any kids. And lately I've had energy and I keep up with my kids. Like I play with them on the playground, which is so not like me. They're like, and they get so excited. They're like, are you drinking your pink drink today? Like, they all know what it is. Like, it's helped me already with energy for sure. And my moods probably.
Good. So basically when somebody's asking you, somebody asked you about the business. Okay. So with the questions I just asked you, and you practice what you just said. So it's about a minute or 2 minutes. Here's what you would basically say. You'd say, okay, look, I'm a teacher. Okay. I've been a teacher for, 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
I've been a teacher for 2 years. I love it. I love sharing. I love being with kids. I love sharing Jesus with the kids. I love seeing their little beautiful faces every day. But what I don't like about it is the fact that, I have parent-teacher conferences, or I'm, away from home longer than I want to be. Once you have kids, you can add that part in. I'm away from my kids, whatever. What I love about it, or what I don't like about it, you share that, then you share what you love about it. Then you go into, and I'm looking forward to how Plexus is going to help me with financially. It's already helping me with my energy. It's already helping me with my moods. It's already, and you go into that. So do you guys see how we did that? So she said, look, you talk about what you do. You talk about how long you've been doing it. You talk about what you love about it, but you tie in, what I don't like about, and how Plexus is helping you with what you don't like about it. You're tired from parent-teacher conferences or whatever. But Plexus is helping me have energy for that. And Plexus is helping me financially. So maybe one day I don't have to teach as much, But if you do want to, you can. I mean, it's totally up to you. But I wanted to kind of spell it out, because when she went through that, I'm like, that is such a simple way to get my business story all in one little lump sum and tie in all those important factors. Like, here's what I like. Here's what I don't like. Here's how Plexus is helping, So I wanted to kind of have you role play, because I don't know. I just think that really sunk in with how she did that. Does that make sense to you guys? Have you guys heard it put that way before? There's a quick way to do it.
I've never heard that, but
yeah.
So would you present that in when you're talking to a potential or somebody who asks why do you Plexus? Why do you?
Right. Yep. And you share that, and then you have your own product testimony too. So you can go over what the products are doing for you and have a little 1 to 2 minute testimony or 30 seconds, whatever, of the same way with the products, how the products are helping you. So yeah, I've had people ask me, okay, Amber, what's with this Plexus business? Tell me about it. And I just go into that. Since she's taught me, like, I've always told them what I like and everything, but when Leslie Zan spelled it out that way, I'm like, yeah, that's really good. Like she tied in so many things. So definitely. And then something else she said was, and I think I told some of you this, she said, you've always heard, like you hear our upline talking about, leading with the business. Okay. Have you guys all probably heard that, right? Like, I know I say it a lot. I know Jana and Amber, Amy, we all talk about leading with the business. And she said, she goes, look, think of it this way. If you start with leading with the business and you share the business with them first, and you say, look, however you want to say it, like, okay, you've got to try this business with me. Like, you won't believe how it's helping me financially. Like, we're able to do things we never did before, whatever. And they say, like, let's say they turn you down. Okay, no, I really don't want to do the business, whatever. Well, then you can segue into the products. Okay, well, let's at least try the products. Like, let's get you on these products and see what they can do for you. Do you have blood sugar issues? Do you have gut issues? Go through that. If they say, no, I don't really want to do any of it. Well, then you segue into the referrals. Okay, you've got to know some people who are struggling with diabetes, or struggling financially, or struggling with inflammation, or whatever. And so what she said is, you lead with the business, then you segue into the products if you have to. Obviously, they need to be a product of the product. Then you segue into referrals if they're not either one. You need one of the first ones. She goes, what happens is, if you lead with the product first, she goes, what happens is, what do you do from there? Like, okay, you're talking to them about the product and they're like, oh, I'm really not interested in the product. Well, then you can never, ever bring up the business because, they're not going to want to take the product if they're not even interested in, if they're not even going to want to do the business if they're not interested in the product. So I thought that was really interesting. Like, I've always heard lead with the business, and that's what we do, but I don't know why I didn't think of it in that way, of how it all segues and how it goes together. So anyways, that makes sense to you guys? Do you guys have any questions about any of that? Okay. But anyway, I just want to share those couple things. And Natalie, I really appreciate you being on here. I appreciate you. I was telling them, somehow you got disconnected, but I was telling them how, we're really trying to do, everybody sign at least 3 people on the team and getting people silver. And so I thought, perfect to have Natalie speak, and see what she's doing.
Thank you so much for having me. I really am, honored, and I hope it was helpful to some people. I still feel like, hey, I feel new to Plexus in a lot of ways, but not to the products, I guess, but just to the business, so
yeah.
I feel bad. I feel like people might think that I'm just like not wanting to share or something when I say like I'm doing whatever they tell me to do, but I really am.
Yeah.
So, and throwing in, I think some of the sales things, I think from like retention and stuff like that have helped a lot. And, one thing you're just mentioning that the way she did it, that's a great idea. Because that's a good way to find out they said it's one of 3 W's, right? Like if it's you want to find out wealth, wellness, or weight.
Weight, yeah.
And if you know which one would be the biggest one to affect them, that's where you aim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we used to have a saying in retention, we don't sell red shirts to blue shirt people. Like you can't do a rate, lower a rate on a credit card if they never carry a balance. They're not going to stay with you. So I took that into Plexus, and I tell my people like on our team, I'm like, don't sell a red shirt to a blue shirt person. You need to get to know them and I cold turkey stuff. So I'm like, I am not shy. I'm a PK. I don't know. My dad made us talk to everybody, but we, he was like, go make them feel welcome. And I'm like, I don't know. But so I guess I'm just not shy, but I was at Kohl's the other day and there was this lady standing there and I was like, if I give this card to her, is she going to think that I'm, saying she needs to lose weight or something. So I was like, hey, have you ever heard of Plexus? And she was like, she's checking me out. She's like, no, what is it? I was like, I told her my 2-minute little elevator thing and, or less actually. And so she's, will it help with PCOS? And I was like, actually, and balancing the hormones because my sister actually has PCOS. And I said, you could take it into your doctor. I said, I'm going to give you my card. And I said, seriously, let me know. And she's like, I will so be calling you. And I'm like, okay, I'm in the checkout line. Mm-hmm. I had my cute Plexus shirt right here. See? Mm-hmm. On at Cato the other day. And they were like, what's Plexus? And so got to tell them. So, I mean, you don't have to know the person either, but they're working at Cato, and I heard them complaining about their hours and this and that. And I'm like, I work from home.
Yeah.
So I kind of plugged that along with what Plexus was. So, I think that's a great way to find out, like you said, what interests them about it.
Right. Yeah. Because like the 3 W's, I know, what's his name? Victor Antonio, how he talks about that. And I love it. So I love like how she just spelt it out too. It's so good. But Sarah, I think Sarah asked me a question. And Natalie, you are free to go anytime. I'm going to answer a couple of their questions. But
thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye. But Sarah, did you ask me? I think Sarah asked me. Okay, share my business testimony. Okay, so how I would say it. And first of all, Leslie did say, like, there are going to be people on your team who are, or even yourself maybe, you want to restart the business. Like, so she said a good wording for them to use would be like, I was dabbling, I wasn't ready, but now that I am ready and I am all in this business, here is my story. Here is what Plexus is doing for me. So she did say that, like, because some people were asking at the conference, well, what if we've been doing it a while and people aren't really like, oh yeah, you're real serious. You've been doing it how long? And you haven't done anything with your business. Then that's when she said, definitely use look, I wasn't ready before, I was dabbling, but here's what it's doing for me. So for me, my testimony would pretty much be, okay, look, I'm a mother of 4. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool my kids. It's something I've been doing for, forever. So my oldest is 10. And, what I love about it, I love that I can be with my kids. I'm a youth pastor's wife also. I love that I get to, help my husband in the ministry. I love that I'm home with my kids and I get to raise them and I don't have to, send them off to school. I love that part about it. What I don't like about it is I feel like I've always felt like, for a long time, like, I feel like we're stretched thin, like, because I wasn't working any or bringing in any extra income. We're totally fine. We have what we need, God supplies, but I felt like we were always living paycheck to paycheck and stretched thin. And I felt like part of the time I felt like I was kind of losing myself a little bit because I was just like, and it's silly as a mom, things that we go through, these stupid thoughts that we go through. But with Plexus, I've been able to do everything. I've been able to be a mom and be in the ministry and homeschool my kids and help financially. And I've been able to, we're able to go on vacation and we're able to have little extra things and we're able to save money and, we're able to not have to, struggle like we used to, and knowing like, okay, we have the extra income coming in. So Plexus has been a huge help. So that's how, Sarah, basically I would say it, being like a stay-at-home mom and what I do. That's how I've had the chance to share that. I think I've shared that like maybe 3 times. And it's always a little different. Like I'm still practicing on making it, like really getting it down. Like this is my speech, without it sounding like a speech. So does that help you? I think Sarah's still on here. Yeah, Sarah, you're still on here. So anyway, I hope that helps. But does anybody, I know this has been way longer than I thought it would be, but that's okay. Does anybody have any other questions or anything? I basically just wanted Natalie to share, and I wanted to touch on those couple of things, why I had you on here. Does anybody have anything else real quick? I'll let you guys get going. I know it's getting late. You're welcome, Sarah.
I just wanted to say that Natalie's saying that she talks to people at checkout line is so funny, because that'd probably be the one place guaranteed adult conversation for the one time out a week, run out and get groceries.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. How have you ever heard of Plexus before?
Yeah, exactly. And there's many ways you can segue into Plexus when you're talking to them, like how she said it, and there's times like, I'm trying to get my business out in this area. Like, do you know of anybody who's struggling with, and name something? And usually they're struggling with it, or they're like, oh, that's my mom, or, whatever. And like carrying samples with you, like, would you like to try a sample, and how many of you, were any of you on Timmy Yancey's call, the way that she does it? Were any of you on that? I love how she does that. She's always like, Julie, I don't know if you were on there, but she's like, her way is it when she brings it up, and she just acts like nonchalant, like, oh, it's Plexus, and people are like, Plexus, what's that? And then she gets like, what? you haven't heard of Plexus? Like, who's never heard of Plexus? And she really just gets them wanting to know more. And she says that's really helped her a lot in getting people to sign up really quick. So that helps her. But Laura, make income. Yeah, Laura says, do you know anyone looking to make income from home? Yes, that's a great one too. So
can I say this real quick? Another thing I learned. Okay, Chris McCall, I shared it like a while ago on my page, but he said he'll like go up to random people like anywhere in the store, and he'll say, do you know anyone looking to make extra income from home? And they'll be like, yeah, definitely. And instead of telling them what it is, because he doesn't want them to get misinformation, Googling it, and Betty,
yes.
He'll say, what's the best way to get some information for you? I know you're just here shopping, so it's not the best time right now. Your email or Facebook or what? And then they'll just like friend him or give him their email right then and there.
That's
and then he'll follow up that way. And I'm like, that's a good idea, because then you actually have their information, and you can, they might forget once they get home and get distracted and stuff. So I thought it was really helpful.
That's really good. Thank you. All right. So I just want to leave you with this quote, a couple quotes here that Leslie Zan said. She said, what is your fear costing you? So, we may have the fear of talking to people out, cashiers or whatever. We may have the fear of doing three-way calls. We may have the fear of being bold, like Natalie said, and said, let's get you to silver, little fears. But what is it costing you? Think of all the wonderful experiences you may be missing due to your fears and limited beliefs. And I love that. It's like, I don't want to miss out on anything. Like, what does God have in store for me? Am I missing out because of my fears and my limited beliefs? And so I thought that was really good. She said, fear regret more than you fear failure. Looking back, we don't want to have regrets. Are we doing, like, can we look back? Like, this is how I ask myself, can I look back and honestly say, I'm doing all that I know I'm supposed to do? Like, I am 110% doing and not having fear of it, So I just wanted to read those really quick because I thought those were really good, make you think. So anyway, but I will let you guys go unless anybody has any other quick question. Feel free to unmute. I don't want to leave anybody hanging. So hi, Lindsay. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on here, ladies. I did remember to hit record. I will tell you, see this right here? See how it says hit record? Okay, I had that there for our last event. I had it right in front of me. And did I hit record? Nope, I didn't record. So I was proud of myself. I hit it tonight. So we can, I'll post this. So if there's anybody who missed, that way they can hear what Natalie had to say. So anyway, you guys all have a great night, and I will see you later. All right, bye.